y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a look that I decided to create, more so like a spring summer type makeup look, but everything will be listed down in my description box as far as the products. So let's get into it. So first I am taking these two primers. One is the e.l.f. Putty Primer and the second one is a NYX Hydrating Primer. Just going to apply that evenly across my nose and in my T-zone. Okay, so this next step, I'm using a eyelid primer. It's good for applying when you're doing eyeshadow because your stuff will come out way more pigmented. So I'm just applying that amongst my eye, and yeah. So to be honest, I use either my finger or my brush to help me blend it out, but I also use a beauty blender to help it get that fully blended look. Okay, so here I'm going to be using a Morphe 350 palette, and I'm going to be using a couple different shades to achieve the look. And I was a bit indecisive, but I did go back and show you guys which shades I was going to be using. And you can pick this palette up at Ulta, the Morphe site. They have it everywhere, but I've been wanting it for forever. So I'm just continuously blending out my eyeshadow here. The brush that I'm using is by Beauty Accents. I think I got it from Walmart or CVS, but I'm pretty sure you can find it at any local drugstore or Amazon may have the brush. But another dupe for it will be like the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, which you can find anywhere. So here I'm just taking my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Cool Medium, just doing a slight cut crease on my lid. Then I went back in with that same NYX eyelid primer and just applied it on top of that cut crease. So the next step, I went back into the Morphe palette and I'm going to be using a lighter neutral shade to go on top of that as well, and also a highlighter that I got from ColourPop. And here I'm just taking this NYX Ultimate Eyeshadow palette and I'm going in with that blue shade just to give my waterline a pop of color. Doing the same exact steps that I did on my other eye, on this eye here. And I know y'all probably thinking like, you've been in your eyes forever, but y'all, it takes time. So now it is time to put on my foundation, and I am using the Juvia's Place Velvety Matte Foundation, and I'm in the color Rio. So a thing I like to do before putting my foundation on is apply some rose water to my face, just to hydrate it a little bit more. And then I also damp my beauty blender with water or rose water, whatever. Doesn't really matter, but just so my foundation can go on a little bit more smoother. Okay, so I noticed when I was recording, it looked way oxidized and orangey on the camera, but it is my shade, and I use it more so in the summer when I do have like a tan and I am darker. But you'll see everything tied together once I add concealer and everything else. So now it is time to conceal, and I'm using LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Warm Honey first. And then you also see me use a second shade, and that is Pure Beige, also by LA Girl. So I see I used a third shade, which was that same Too Faced Born This Way in Cool Medium. And I just like a bright under eye. As you all see, I'm just blending out my concealer with that same beauty blender. So next I'm just contouring my face, which I really don't do. And if I do it, it's just with a darker foundation shade. This one is in the color Cognac by Ruby Kisses. And for anyone wondering, I don't contour my nose. I just feel like it's unnecessary for me, but to each his own. So the setting powder I'm using is by Maybelline in the shade Light Medium. I know a lot of people say they don't bake anymore, but I still do. Not as long, but I still like the method, and it makes my under eye the way I want it. So while my setting powder is sitting, I'm going to go back into that NYX palette with that blue and just go over it once again. As for my bottom lashes, I like to go in with a Covergirl eyelash primer. It comes in the color white, which is really good for the base of your eyelashes, and it'll make your eyelashes pop. So once you do that, you'll go in with just your regular mascara and go over it. So next, I'm taking that setting powder under my eye and dusting it away with my brush. And then you will also see me take my beauty blender and use some setting spray to set it as well. Now I'm just lining my lips with a dark brown eyebrow pencil. Any pencil is good, to be honest. It's preferably your choice. But I'm just taking this and lining my lips, and then I'm going to take my NYX lingerie in the color Baby Doll and go in with that in the middle of my lips. And that NYX lingerie that I put on is pretty matte, so it'll dry up. But I like to go on top of it with a clear gloss to give it that glossy finish. So I normally don't use blush, but for the sake of the video, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I purchased this Maybelline Fit Me blush in the color Peach. This step here is just me applying my first layer of setting spray, just misting it all over my face and just fanning it dry so that I can apply my highlighter next. So once that is done drying, I go in with my highlighter and I'm going to apply it onto my cheekbones and also my nose. OMG, the very last step is just my second layer of setting spray. Finally, this process is done. This is really hard to record and edit as well. I had to take my time and make sure I was explaining everything briefly. If you guys really don't understand everything, just be sure to comment down below and I can help you guys figure it out. But thank you all for watching and stay tuned for what's next. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And that is it. Bye.